I asked in the community tab where you would like to live on the map, and I said if we got enough comments I would make a video, and oh boy, did you guys have a lot to say on that subject. We got so many comments we need to separate videos by region. Here are your thoughts on Ambarino, and in particular the Veterans Cabin at O'Creagh's Run, which was a popular location. Let's check in with Arthur and read some comments. Soup Time answers where Hamish lived by the lake or in Saint Denis. Have to agree, friend, it's very pretty up here. Ori Zafe 32 writes either Vetter's Echo, Blackwater, or the Veterans Homestead, and those are some good choices, well done. Mr. Nate's comments, I would love to live in Hamish's cabin because I will gaze at that wonderful lake every morning I wake up. Also, there is so much to do at this location like fishing, hunting, or even drowning some Murphy broods. And personally, I can't think of any gang that needs drowning more than the Murphy brood, but I don't think they venture that far out west, so I think we're good here, friend. Lightning Slay 45, very active during the premiere's comments, I would love to live in Ambarino because I love the scenery, and as long as you flagger all the felts at Shea Porter, I think it's a great location with 2 cabins and a nice barn. Good choice, friend. Bosco Hart writes, the Loft or the Veterans Cabin. Some fantastic views up the Loft, but it looks like it gets cold there at night. Maybe not colder cold, but I'd be really worried about the wind chill and the wolves. Moving on. Adrian comments, the Veterans Homestead, Hamish's cabin, it's beautiful and away from all the bad country. I love the lake and the mountains. You're absolutely right, Adrian. It's a beautiful Clearwater lake in the heart of the mountains, and you get the best of both worlds here. Teresa Salter writes, honestly, I would live in the Veterans Homestead. Lake, trees, quiet. I love it. Best part, no Murphy brood or Skinners to worry about. That is the best part, Teresa. The Murphy brood and the Skinners are the worst. Honk Honk Am Goose, a great friend of the channel, writes, Cattail Pond, it's my favorite place to go on the map. I just think it's so peaceful and scenic, plus there's never many people up there. I like being alone, if you couldn't tell. It would be difficult to move into that flattened cabin. That would require some major renovations. However, you cannot discount the biscuit potential, and if you are living up there, you know for certain she'd show up sometime. Good choice, friend. Void Vortex writes, the lodge. It's tall and has a ladder to climb up on top. It's on the top of the map, I'd say between Ambarino and Roanoke Ridge. The view from the lodge is so beautiful and it's really peaceful up there, and I think it's the perfect distance from every town except Strawberry. My other would have to be that cabin near Hanging Dog Ranch. I can't remember what it's called, but it's not where Mama Watson lived, but it's near it. I love that clearing in Hanging Dog Ranch. I love seeing all the animals and horses, and I think it's the perfect distance from Strawberry and Valentine. There's 2 cabins that I can think of near Hanging Dog Ranch. The Stilt Cabin, which I really like, and the Dutch Pipe Cabin, which would be optimal once you clear out the bear. Well done, friend. Cavier Yet comments, I would probably choose the Loft in the Grizzlies East because you get a beautiful view if you go to the top of the place, and it is well supplied and has explosives and cannonballs. Also, there is animals like elk and deer and rabbit, so there is a lot of food. Game is abundant, and that location has some of the most beautiful views on the map. An excellent choice, friend. Tim R. writes, the Veterans Homestead or in Strawberry. Well, Strawberry is the Catskills of the West, according to the mayor, and I heard they're planning to build an opera house there. So it would be good to get some property there, Tim, an excellent investment. Georgetown says, I would love to live in the Loft. 2-story type home, camp area nearby, it would be nice. I have to agree, George, it would be very nice. KL Master comments, I would love to live on O'Creagh's Run, maybe even in Hamish's cabin. The area is very beautiful and you would be surrounded by woods and nature everywhere you looked. It would also be very nice to be able to go fishing just a couple steps away from your house. The area is an all-around amazing and peaceful place, especially when you have Buell on your side to explore it. Buell is one of the greatest horses in the game, and that Cremello Gold Coat is one of a kind. Also, I would imagine Buell really loves that area and thinks of it as home. Well done, friend. Cat Simo writes, "Nice, I'm in for the Hamish cabin. How about a video of hard-to-find animals in Red Dead Redemption 2 and the sound they make? I am still searching for the animal that makes the woohoo sound. I would assume that's the owl. Arthur collects owl feathers and you should too. Try Emerald Ranch at dawn and dusk and the abandoned oil rig. Look for a giant wingspan flying slowly and almost floating. It's probably an owl. Moving on." Savage comments, "I would love to live at the Veterans Homestead, the lake, the mountains, and all those beautiful animals. I can picture myself living up there till the end of my days. But since everybody's picking the Veterans Cabin, my second pick is the cabin right below Window Rock at the Dakota River. Plenty of fish and wildlife, and the scenery is just as magnificent." I know that cabin right below Window Rock, friend. Very pretty there. The only disadvantage I can think of is night comes fast there at that location with those high canyon walls. Bella writes, "I would love to live in the Loft up in the northern part of the map. That's such a beautiful and somewhat luxurious cabin with a beautiful view of the forest and valleys below." Very well said, friend. That Loft is an excellent location. Chap in NYC says, "The Meteor House is another good location if you can overlook the small hole in the roof and a few dead bodies and a small crater in the middle of the floor and perhaps some radiation. All that aside, it has a lovely view overlooking Roanoke Valley." Interesting choice, friend. The Meteor House might work, and I'm sure the glow from all the radiation looks really pretty at night. Dave Anderson votes for the Loft or the Veterans Homestead. Very popular choices. You are in good company, Dave. And James Wilson writes, "O'Crae's Run. I don't like hot weather, and it has a beautiful lake with seclusion. Living almost my whole life in a southern city, I found my few years in the country to be the best medicine for anxiety. I do dream of country life, especially after this game. The peace and the quiet and all that nature are what everyone seems to need right now." Good choice, James. A Warlord comments, "I would say Hamish's cabin away from people, and like he said, I wouldn't be lonely and I'd have the whole of nature with me. Hamish's cabin would be perfect for me if I could sort out the Wi-Fi. All that peace and quiet would be excellent for video production and would really take my commentaries to the next level." And finally, great friend of the channel, very active in the comments, Doc Skullhammer writes, "I want to live in the old veterans cabin at O'Crae's Run. The wildlife is so plentiful there and the privacy is about as good as it gets. I'd build a stable for my Arabians, Turkomans, and Shires, and a sizable corral so they would always have access to the sky. I might even find room for old Buell." You are correct, Doc. We do need adequate stable space up there, and that would involve clearing out some areas and sacrificing some of the views. Very doable. We either hire some hands or invent some kind of steampunk chainsaw, which, now that I think of, sounds extra dangerous. Tell you what, I'll put out the word in the community tab and we'll get a group out there for a salmon and elk barbecue weekend, and we'll get that stable raised up in no time. And that, my friends, were your thoughts and comments on Ambarino in general and Hamish's cabin in particular. This video is sponsored by Batmantonio, my second gaming channel where we play every other video game that isn't Red Dead Redemption 2. Like and subscribe for longer format deep dive gaming commentaries where I overanalyze and focus on the details. Did you notice I went the entire video without mentioning the giant spoon, which Arthur loves and is obsessed with? Really wish we could collect that giant spoon. I would take it to Seamus and see what it's worth. I mean, it's the biggest spoon in the game. It needs to be displayed with prominence along with the bolt action and the Springfield and the Carcano. Well, friends, we're not even halfway through the map. We still have Lemoyne, New Hanover, and West Elizabeth to go. And to quote Arthur, "I'll get to it, Dutch. Just can't drop everything." I'm Superantonio. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your views. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for daily Red Dead Redemption 2 content, and we shall meet again. Further on down the trail.
What's your name, boy?
I don't know.